I'm gonna record this too, just so then I could have, yeah. Alright, so let's just kind of break this down, right? Before market open, right, it's 6:20, right? First thing we do is mark our draws on liquidity. What is that? Our buy side up here, right? Buy side, right? And then our sell side, right? Sell side here, right? And then sell side here as well, right? And then after we mark our draws on liquidity, let's actually now go on the higher time frame, find our higher time frame support, and find our higher time frame resistance, right? What is being supported right now? What is holding up price as of right now? It's this big ass fair value gap, this 1 hour, right? So right now, price is being held up by a 1 hour fair value gap, right? And we do see like price actually kind of needs a retracement, probably back down to these imbalances, right? You know how we use the fib, right? We want price to come back down to make that next move up, right? So then we also have this fair value gap to also keep in mind. We could potentially retrace to, or we could potentially dump if that was the case, right? But what could we now like? You mind muting your mic, Laura? Laura, mute your mic, bro, because I'm recording this. Or fuck. Ah, fuck me, dude. I don't even know what. Alright, whatever. Alright, so. Alright, Laura, you think you can mute your mic, bro? Oh shit, hold, give him a second, he's driving.
Oh
No,
shit,
you're
my
not
bad.
muted, bro. Yeah, alright. Alright, so as of right now, we have this bullish fair value gap basically holding us, right? If we stay above, right? If we hold above, right? If we don't get no candle closes, then we're not targeting this low, or we're not targeting the fair value gaps right here, right? Because what price likes doing is retracing to these fair value gaps to basically make the next move up, right? And how do we know price is going to retrace all the way down to these fair value gaps? Is if we start inversing the bullish confluences, right? If we turn this into a bearish confluence, right? So if we inverse this and come back up to retest, we find the setup in here to take it lower, right? As of right now, we're just kind of like, this is what we have so far, right? Let's just actually go to the smaller time frames and see what's happening, right? Then we can also have the ES chart, right? Also mark that shit down, right? Because I started using both charts. Fuck, what the fuck is shit? All right. NQ, honestly, I don't like marking hella charts on either. Hold on. Alright. NQ, we have the same shit here, right? Oh, we also have this like fair value gap on the 15 too, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was this 15 fat ass fair value gap here that we were also being held by, right? I just kind of erased that. I already know what's like kind of being held, right? But we have all these lows here, right? All these lows here as well. We have our draws on liquidity here as well, right? Same shit, right? I don't really be having them both open like that, but yeah, when I'm looking for SMTs, I kind of like look for that last, right? I don't like, yeah. So as of right now, we have our plan, right? Inverse on the 1 hour. If we get a candle close on the 1 hour, we're targeting these lows, targeting this big ass fair value gap, right? If we could find the setup that's supporting this hourly fair value gap, then we're targeting these highs, right? So that's already my plan. That's already my thought process. That's basically what's gonna go on. Holy fuck me, I didn't mean to fucking do that shit, right? So price right now just kind of like moved up and then swept like basically all of these like draws on liquidity. Basically swept all this sell side. I mean not sell side, buy side right here, right? We swept all that buy side, right? And then we got like a kind of like an inverse of a fair value gap, right? And we kind of sold off real quick, basically targeting this low right here, right? And then after that, well, we just kind of had like that little tiny sell off, right? We got our liquidity sweep here, and then we actually ended up targeting liquidity, right? Because that's how price moves. We end up taking out one side and then we go to the other side, take out the other, right? But the difference here is that right here we just, yeah, we didn't really get like that candle close on the 1 hour, right? We're being held by the 1 hour fair value gap, right? And if we actually see, if we mark our um shit, I'm going replay mode because the SMT was like somewhere right here. Bro, I hate using this chart. What the fuck? We can already see basically, yeah, our whole setup literally just kind of like formed, right? We had an SMT right here, right? We had an SMT, bro. We had an SMT basically develop here, right? We were able to take this low on ES, but we weren't able to take that low on NQ, right? So we had that SMT already developed, right? And then let's get rid of this shit because I hate using two charts because that shit kind of fills up my whole screen. That shit's annoying as fuck, right? We had this fair value gap basically inverse, right? And we also created a bullish fair value gap as well. So now we're creating. Oh my god, nigga, fucking mute yourself. Geo, mute yourself, bro. Thank you, bro. Alright. So now we're looking at what? We swept all of these lows right here, right? Liquidity sweep, alright? We got a bullish SMT, right? And then once we created that move up, we were also being supported by hourly fair value gap. Pretty sure we also had a 15-minute and also this shit right here too, right? So we were just being held by like a higher time frame fair value gap and a lower time frame fair value gap as well. So we're already like having our support, right? All we really need is actually more confirmation, and our actual confirmation was actually right here, right? The SMT, the liquidity sweep, right? The inverse of this fair value gap here, right? Then our stop loss would be a candle close underneath this, but this actually kind of came to test this fair value gap here, right? So then your entries could have been like either here, right, on this bullish fair value gap and then target the highs, or basically in here, right? So actually, I kind of took this trade like literally like once we came back to here, right? We came back and then pulled back down to this black candle right here, right? And then from here, I just took the longs, right? Target what? The next high right here, right? And then this is kind of what kind of pissed me off a little bit, right? Obviously this trade went up to like 25%, I'm pretty sure. The last thing I put was 22%, but I was low-key kind of selling cons at like 25%, right? But yeah, trying to hold runners was low-key kind of like a pretty annoying, right? Because look, we were just kind of wicking this bitch, right? We wicked it once, wicked it twice, wicked it 3 times, wicked it 4 times, right? So taking this on literally options, this is kind of like dog shit for us. If we were taking like 1 day contracts, right, then we would have been able to help through this, right? I didn't really hold any 1 day contracts. Usually when I like alert, right, I alert 0 TDs, and if I'm planning on holding runners, then I'll buy 3 contracts, right, on the 1 day expiration, right? Just in case I want to hold runners, just in case I want to basically hold past this shit, right? Because we're targeting what? Our draws on liquidity, right? So our buy side here, and then buy side all the way up here, right? Which is our final take profit. And then the whole trade would have looked like this, right? And now, how are you going to be like, all right, I want to hold a trade, right? Like, how do I hold this shit? Like, how do I hold trades, right? The way you hold trades is literally just getting candle closes above these highs, right? And then waiting for bullish confluences to start showing up, right? So right here you have a bullish fair value gap. Instead of like holding a whole position or like whatever, like take off some risk, right? Take some profits, get rid of risk, right? And also drag your stops, right? Because your stop is no longer all the way down here. Your stop is all the way up here. You have to keep dragging this bitch, right? Obviously, it's not gonna be on TradingView. You're gonna have to do that shit manually on Weevil, or if you're on fucking Top Step, whatever, you're just dragging your stop manually, right? So then you just come up, then just drag your stop, right? Because now it's your new setup. Was this your trade today, Fabs? Yeah. And I learned this bitch. It's just I didn't hold all the way to like up here, right? Cause yeah, low key, I was getting like fucked right here. My contracts were getting burnt, like right here. Cause this was looking like it was just rejecting multiple times, and then we just kind of like broke through above with volume. But this is just if I were to have bought like 1 day expiration contracts, right? Then I would have kind of actually held through this because this is like holding structure, right? It was actually holding this 5 minute fair value gap here too. Right, so this was still kind of holding structure, right? Basically everything, right? And then this could have been hit to the second take profit, right? And then we're still being held by this fair value gap, right? And we broke above this high, right? And now we're waiting for more fair value gaps to basically present itself. And obviously, again, What do you have to do? Keep dragging your fucking stops all the way to like the third, right? And yeah, that's basically how you fucking trade like a real YN, right? From literally the start all the way to like the bottom, right? Higher time frame support and then smaller time frame setups, right? And again, if you're not near no higher time frame support or you're not next to one, then literally just wait for more market structure to develop on the smaller time frames and actually see shit actually happening, right? Because if you're just guessing, right, you're not gonna have like a bias all the time. Like as soon as market open, right here, I did have a bias. Like as soon as market open, made the decision, right? Like already hourly fair value gap or big ass hourly fair value gap right here. If it had an inverse, right, then we're targeting lows down here, right? And targeting these imbalances right here. So these fair value gaps here and here, right? That's if we inverse this, right? If we support it, right, and we find the support in here, then we just take it all the way to the next move up. And then we just keep doing that shit until eventually we inverse one of these and actually catch that sell off. Basically tapping into these and then making the next move up, right? I'm hoping that makes sense. It was a choppy as fuck. Oh yeah, low key, yeah, like bro, that shit made. I don't fucking know. That shit kind of. You recording this? Yeah, bro. For the people who are slow as shit, I kind of want to look back at it. I'm hoping I don't get canceled. Nah, I can't get canceled. Y'all heard that fucking video of TJR saying the word N word? Bro was like, near. Send it over. God damn, you want? I'm posting this shit on YouTube, bro. All right. Um. So yeah, that was basically like today's trade, right? I was also trying to take some puts earlier, right? Um, and then this is why I got stopped out. It look, this is what basically happened, right? You guys saw the vision, to be honest. I know you guys did. It was low-key a setup. I took it. I don't give a fuck. I admit us. Well, obviously we all fucking make mistakes, right? Where was it? I'm not sure what time I alerted it, but I just alerted put somewhere here, right? Was it this one? Hold on, let me actually go to my alerts thing to actually show you guys where I kind of fucked up. This was low-key a small loss. It was at 10:39. Okay, this was low-key kind of like a valid loss, right? So basically, this was like the vision, right? So we got like a liquidity sweep all the way up here, right? Liquidity sweep here, right? And if we go on the 10-minute, we actually inverse this 10-minute fair value gap, right? And then actually, let me go on replay mode because that big ass candle was not there when I fucking had that shit marked. And then let's go on the 5-minute, right? So we had a liquidity sweep, higher time frame fair value gap, that got inversed, right? And now we got a retrace, right, which was into basically our buying area, right? And this is our bearish fair value gap. If we were to enter in this trade, again, it will be in the middle, right? So it will basically be the middle of the fair value gaps, right? This would be your short position, and then your stops would be above the fair value gaps, right? And what are you targeting? Basically the lows all the way here, right? And areas where we're gonna possibly bounce. But this is where low-key I kind of fucked up, and yeah, I didn't low-key check on the higher time frame, but we were actually retracing to this 10-minute fair value gap as well, right? So this is basically what was kind of like stopping us from going down, right? And yeah, I mean, I guess just a loss is a loss, right? And we also had this one low right here where if we get a candle close, this will activate our market structure shift, right? However, this didn't end up being no market structure shift. If we actually kind of like look closely, like this was not a market structure shift. It was just a liquidity sweep, right? If we could get like a solid kind of close, this will activate our market structure shift. However, I didn't get that shit, right? Um, so it's fine, and I'm pretty sure that's why this trade didn't really run like the way I thought it was gonna run. So the market structure shift wasn't created, right? The 10-minute fair value gap was actually holding this from going lower, right? But there was like some sort of reaction, right? You guys can see the rejections here, right? And then yeah, eventually we just sold a little bit. Yeah, nothing too crazy, right? Did it sell in the aftermarket? Right now it looks like it's selling off, and I'm pretty sure it's just because what? Did we had news? I'm not sure if we had news. But yeah, we could kind of start seeing like market structure shift here, right? And then we could see the inverse of like these fair value. I'm pretty sure there's like a higher time frame inverse of a fair value gap. Then we could see we retest into a bearish fair value gap, right? To continue lower, right? So we could kind of see like market kind of moving up bullish, and then we break higher low, right? And then we inverse into one of our fair value gaps to continue lower. And then for this to continue lower, obviously we're gonna have to keep creating bearish fair value gaps, right? To retrace into and holding those bitches to continue lower, right? Trying to aim for these lows right here, right? Lows right here, or potential areas where we could bounce, possibly like bullish fair value gaps, right? And then that's how you fucking break down the fucking market with just using fair value gaps and fucking liquidity. And that's all you fucking need. Holy shit, we have hella people in here. Wait, can y'all like expand like W's in the chat? Just because I don't know, I just feel like that shit's fire. Like, I don't know, like just spam, just go fucking crazy. Yeah, we're fucking getting rich, yeah. Fucking got hella people in the fucking class, right? Fucking explaining fair value gaps and liquidity, because this is literally all you fucking need to be profitable, bro. Like, don't make your shift so fucking complicated. We caught this trade all the way to the upside, right? Explaining all this bullshit, right? Look at all these fucking people getting active W's. Someone said they're gay, right? Someone said N. All right. All right. But hope y'all enjoyed that class. All right. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this class, and then I'll do another one, right? I'm gonna post this on YouTube just so you guys can rewatch this as well. I'm gonna have this shit uploaded, and yeah.